Live from the KMOV Broadcast Center in downtown St. Louis. This is News 4 with breaking news.
We are following breaking news out of North City, where a firefighter was trapped after a roof collapse at a burning building. We're hearing from the fire chief, Dennis Jenkerson, right now.
St. Louis Fire Department got a call in the 5900 block of Cote Brilliant for a fire in a two-story house. Struck a first alarm immediately because of multiple calls on this one. First company on the scene reported heavy fire showing second floor. Made an entry, possible victims in the building. Made a quick knockdown on the fire on the first floor. Made their way to the second floor, attempted to knock that fire down. At some point, while they were knocking that fire down, they made the decision, let's back out. Fire's getting too intense. As they were backing out, the third floor, if you will, 2.5-story building, third floor, the roof area totally collapsed, burying the two entry firefighters. Anytime you have a building like this, you know, it's fire department's always looking to make sure that nobody's in there. We're trying to save lives. You know, with a collapse like this, there's a lot of heavy timber, a lot of bricks. We got multiple chimneys. We had one firefighter that was gravely injured. When the building collapsed on him, he was buried. Took the brunt of the collapse to his person. It appears that collapse caused his grave injuries. We do have a firefighter death. So at this time, we're looking at all the conditions of the building, what might have led to it. That's, you know, St. Louis City Fire Department does a job every day in buildings that many departments consider buildings we shouldn't enter. We know that people use these homes to stay warm. We know that people use these homes to provide protection against the different environments, and we go in and take a look. This company went in, took a quick look, knocked the first fire down, went up to the second floor, made the right decision, let's get out. And unfortunately, due to the condition of the building, they were caught in the collapse. So it's...
What can you tell us, Chief, about the firefighter who died and the firefighter who's gravely injured? How long with the department, their ages, any information?
You know, right now I'd rather wait on passing on more information. When something like this happens, there's fire department's just a huge family. There's a lot of relationships on the inside that are involved here, from sons to fathers, and it's this kind of event weighs just tremendously heavy on the entire department, the chiefs, the deputy chiefs, me. There's a lot of internal relationships that make this just terrible, just a terrible situation. So as we get more information and information that we can release once we notify all the family members, we'll provide more information. But right now, I'd rather hold.
So does it look like one was killed and another severely injured by the falling debris more so than the fire?
Yeah. The one that was gravely injured, yes, was killed by the debris the way it looks. But we'll take a good look at that. He was trapped under a tremendous amount of debris for some time until we dug him out. The other firefighter was injured as well, trying to get him out, and upon the initial collapse. So yes, it's anytime you have this amount of bricks and building collapse on you, it's not good.
It's been roughly 20 years since you've had like a death, in the line of duty. How hard is this for a department, especially of your size and what you guys do?
We're a busy department. We're a proud department. We're a closely related department. So you can't deal with it. There's no words to describe what the feeling is right now amongst the St. Louis Fire Department.
And was this building officially unoccupied, or were there people inside? Can you talk about kind of what the situation was?
We're looking at that right now. Right now, we don't know We assume that most of these buildings are occupied, whether legally or illegally. It's hard to say, but this building had bars on the windows, bars on the doors, and normally when a building like that is unoccupied, those bars are gone pretty quick. They're used for scrap, and they still had bars, so it looks like this building was occupied.
Chief, my prayers and hearts go out to you and all of the firefighters in the St. Louis Fire Department. This is just a sad reminder of how first responders put their lives on the line every day.
Yeah, it's unfortunately, we live with that reminder every day, no matter what happens, if it's in our city, in the county, in the state, in the country. We think about it every day, but we go on with our job. But it does bring it home. But I've been doing this for 40 plus years, and you think about it every day, but you still do the job. Why we do the job, I don't know.
How many people initially went into the building, and then?
Well, initially the first company on the scene made entry, which is 2 guys in. The other company was on the scene immediately. So we had 10 to 12 guys on the scene immediately, setting up the ladders, setting up the lines, getting the aerial ladders up in the air, making entry. We had 2 lines off, so that's 4 guys immediately into the building. Once these things come down, they normally don't give you a warning. These are old buildings here. These are 3- and 4-course bricks, so there's a lot of weight, a lot of heavy timber, and when it comes down, if you're in the way of that falling timber, it's normally serious injuries, and in this case, it proved to be grave injuries.
I know that this may be a little too early to think about, but with you saying that some people say that you shouldn't go into these types of buildings, that there's structures that are unstable, are you now looking back, or going to be looking back and saying, are there ways we could, enter these buildings differently? Are there ways we can even avoid entering these buildings in the future?
We look at that every day. We look at the buildings we go into. We provide all of our captains, all of our members get schooling, education, training on what to look for, and we get paid to protect lives. We get paid to take a risk, and it's hard to tell somebody on the street who's yelling and screaming at us, that there might be somebody in there. Well, this risk might be too great, so we take the risk, and unfortunately and terribly, the risk we took today wasn't worth it. We lost a firefighter.
And Chief, just to clarify, what is the condition of the surviving firefighter?
I don't have that yet. He was transported to the hospital.
Was he the one that was gravely injured, or are you saying the one who
No,
died?
the one who died was gravely injured.
So he may not be so serious?
And I don't know that yet. We did train. He wasn't. He had been caught in the collapse as well. He was conscious and breathing. Yes.
Can you tell us about all the crews that were here assisting? What departments were here today?
I don't have that information right now. I've been too busy concentrating on making sure we got this firefighter out as quickly as we can to see if we can provide any type of medical attention. And I'll have to give the guys on the scene a kudos for working tremendously hard to get this done. Trying to move this amount of weight, this amount of bricks, just with your bare hands is a feat within itself.
And what's the condition of the home right now?
The total loss.
How long are we going to be having all this police tape up, caution tape? How long are we going to be working on the house?
It depends on how long the investigation takes. We've got bomb and arson on the scene. We got our fire investigation unit on the scene. We're going to make sure that we know everything that had happened to this building. Because unfortunately, when we get into some of these buildings, if there's been some demolition that's occurred inside, when people vacate or they're not living in a home, things disappear. There's holes in the floor, radiators are stolen. So we don't know. We're going to take a really good look at it and see what caused this collapse.
Did this house have utilities hooked up?
I don't know that right now.
Any possible cause of fire at this point?
I don't know. I don't have that information yet.
Were any of the other buildings damaged that were nearby?
The building that was on the D side, which is to the east of this building.
And you just heard from Fire Chief Dennis Jenkerson. We've learned that one firefighter was killed today and another injured while responding to a building that was on fire when the roof collapsed at a home in North City. We will, of course, continue to follow this breaking news story here on the air and on the KMOV News app. We'll have a live report coming up on News 4 at 4 o'clock. We send you now back to regular programming.